Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most exciting parts of any Jujutsu Kaisen game, domain expansions. If you've played the game, you already know that these abilities are a true sign of mastery and strength. Whether you're looking to reroll for the best or just curious about which domains pack the most punch, this Jujutsu Infinite domain expansion tier list has got you covered. We're ranking every innate domain so you can strategize and make sure you're aiming for the top tier expansions that will take your gameplay to the next level. Now, if you're wondering which domain expansion will make you feel like a true Jujutsu sorcerer, you've come to the right place. These domains aren't just flashy, they represent ultimate power in the game. We're going to break down which ones are absolute game changers and which ones you might want to skip over. So grab some popcorn, get comfy, and let's go over which domains deserve a spot in your roster and which might leave you wishing for a reroll. I'm quickly moving on to the video and I'm ranking domain expansions in Jujutsu Kaisen. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
A very small portion of the audience is subscribed to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like these types of videos. Thanks.
The domain expansions in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Self-embodiment of perfection. Alright, let's dive into one of the more unique domain expansions in Jujutsu Infinite, the Self-embodiment of perfection. Now this one isn't the flashiest in terms of style, but when it comes to raw power, it's an absolute beast. The first thing to note is its ability to extend the range of the soul touch ability. That's a huge game changer, especially when you're trying to land those critical hits from a distance. And if you think that's good, wait till you hear about the transfiguration stacks. Yep, with every scenelet standard attack, you stack up those bad boys, and that means more damage with every soul touch hit. So, while this domain expansion might not have the coolest visuals, its potential to ramp up your damage output is insane. With the ability to gain transfiguration stacks with each hit, it makes this a fantastic pick for sustained damage over time. If you're looking for something that slowly builds into an unstoppable force, then the Self-embodiment of perfection is your go-to. The domain expansions in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Horizon of the Captivating Saganda, Unlimited Void, and Deadly Sentencing. Alright, let's get into something a little more exciting. Domain expansions in Jujutsu Infinite. These moves are the game changers, the ones that really take things to the next level. But today, we're diving into the B tier domain expansions. These might not have the flashiest effects, but they bring something cool and strategic to the table. Let's see if any of these can turn the tide in your next battle. First up, we've got the Horizon of the Captivating Saganda, which is a domain expansion for the Hydrokinesis innate technique. Now, this one's all about messing with your enemy's flow, literally. When you activate it, the Death Swarm move switches from a single target hit to an AoE, area of effect attack. That means you're not just targeting one unlucky soul, but everyone in the area. Plus, it doesn't stop there. Every attack inside the domain applies the wet debuff. That's going to leave your enemies vulnerable, making them easier to take down. So if you like controlling the battlefield with some serious water-based chaos, this is a solid pick. Next, we've got Unlimited Void. This is the domain expansion for the Infinity innate technique, and honestly, it's got a bit of a scary vibe to it. When you activate it, all enemies inside are stunned as it. Yup, you heard that right, stunned. This gives you the perfect opening to go in and deal some damage without worrying about getting hit back. It's like playing a game of catch me if you can, be it the unnecessary keys. But you've got all the time in the world to dish out punishment while your enemies are stuck in a daze. If you're looking for something that lets you handle business without getting interrupted, Unlimited Void's your go-to. Then we've got Deadly Sentencing, which is the domain expansion for the Judgment innate technique. Now this one's a bit more unpredictable. When you activate it, you play a match of rock, paper, scissors to determine what happens next. If you win, you get to wield the Executioner Sword, which is like your golden ticket to massive damage. But if you lose, you'll just get the usual domain DMG and defense buffs. Not bad, but not game-breaking either. The real kicker though is a tie. If you tie, you completely nullify the innate technique of your enemy. Yeah, that's right, you shut them down. So, if you've got a bit of luck on your side, Deadly Sentencing can turn into a powerhouse. But here's the thing about B-tier domains, they're all about how you use them. You might not have the sheer destructive power of some of the higher tier domains, but these expansions bring strategy and control. If you're a player who loves to outplay your opponent, these are your best bets. They let you take the upper hand in unique ways that can really mess with your enemy's plans. At the end of the day, B-tier domains in Jujutsu Infinite aren't just about raw power. They're about giving you the tools to play smart and make those critical moments count. Whether it's stunning enemies with unlimited void or shutting down your opponent's innate technique with deadly sentencing, these moves are built to let you shine when the stakes are high. So next time you're picking your domain expansion, remember, sometimes a little bit of strategy goes a long way. The domain expansions in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Idle Death Gamble, Celestial Opera, and Coffin of the Iron Mountain. Alright, buckle up. Let's talk about some of the most exciting domain expansions in Jujutsu Infinite that totally shake up the game. These are the kind of abilities you don't just see every day, and when you pull them off, it feels like you've just turned the tide of battle. No more standard moves. These domain expansions are the game changers. First up, we have Idle Death Gamble, a domain expansion tied to the Gambler Fever innate technique. This one is wild, folks. Every time you land an attack, it charges up your fever meter. And once that bad boy's full, you get a massive boost. We're talking increased damage, faster speed, reduced cooldowns, and even HP regeneration. It's like turning into a supercharged version of yourself, just waiting to wreck shop. But here's the catch, you gotta keep landing hits to keep filling that fever meter, so it's all about staying aggressive and consistent. If you're on top of it, this domain can make you a nightmare for your opponents. Next, let's dive into Celestial Opera, a domain expansion for the Star Rage innate technique. If you like making the enemy feel like they're under constant pressure, this one's for you. Not only does it hit the enemies with a gravity debuff that lowers their defense stat by 10%, but it also lets you use the mass meter. What's the mass meter, you ask? Well, it gives you access to attacks that deal extra damage during the domain. It's like adding a cherry on top of a cake that's already pretty delicious. The combination of lowering the enemy's defense and dealing additional damage is a total game changer in any match. Now, let's talk about one that really brings the heat, Coffin of the Iron Mountain. This domain expansion is tied to the Volcano innate technique, and it's nothing short of legendary. When you activate it, the range of the Molten Chamber ability expands, allowing you to cover a huge area with lava. But that's not all. It also inflicts the enemy with constant burn damage while they're trapped in the domain. Imagine the enemy just being pummeled by molten lava and burning away as they try to escape. It's relentless, and if they're not careful, it can be the end for them. A perfect domain for anyone who loves dealing heavy damage over time and making the enemy feel the heat in a big way. If you enjoy having that extra bit of control over the battlefield, these domain expansions really give you that. Each one plays differently, but they all share the ability to tilt the battle in your favor. You've got the constant pace of Idle Death Gamble, the heavy pressure of Celestial Opera, and the sheer destruction of Coffin of the Iron Mountain. It's all about choosing the right one for your playstyle and the situation at hand. But of course, like with any powerful ability, there's always a bit of a learning curve. You need to know when to strike, how to build your meters, and when to activate your domain expansion for maximum effect. It's not just about being flashy, it's about strategy, timing, and making sure that your enemy feels the full force of your power. So, pick wisely, and when you unleash one of these domains, you'll make sure the other team knows who's boss. That's it for today's breakdown of some of the top tier domain expansions in Jujutsu Infinite. These abilities are game changers, but they require skill and precision to master. So go ahead, get in there, and show them what you've got. The domain expansions in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Malevolent Shrine and Unequivocal Love. Alright, buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into the most mind-blowing part of Jujutsu Infinite. The domain expansions. These aren't just flashy moves, they're game changers that can turn the tide of any battle. Let's talk about two of the craziest domains you'll encounter, Malevolent Shrine and Unequivocal Love. Trust me, these are the kind of abilities that make your enemies regret ever crossing paths with you. First up, the Malevolent Shrine, tied to the Demon Vessel's special grade innate technique. This is pure destruction incarnate. The second you activate it, you're unleashing a relentless barrage of high damage strikes that target every unlucky soul inside the domain. No dodging, no hiding, just pure chaos. It's like being caught in a storm of razor-sharp fury, and honestly, there's nothing more satisfying than watching your opponents crumble under its power. If you love high-octane offense, this is the domain for you. Now, if you're more into finesse and a touch of unpredictability, let's talk about Unequivocal Love, the Curse Queen's masterpiece. This domain is as elegant as it is deadly. Picture this, you're standing in the middle of a battlefield and suddenly katanas start spawning out of thin air. But wait, It gets better. You can actually pull these katanas to unlock additional innate abilities. That's right, re-rolling your powers mid-battle. It's the ultimate flex and a total game changer if you're looking to shake things up and keep your enemies guessing. Both of these domains aren't just about flashy animations, although, let's be real, they look amazing. They're strategic tools that cater to completely different playstyles. Whether you want to overwhelm your opponents with raw power or outsmart them with versatility, these expansions have got you covered. So, which one are you unleashing first? Let me know down below because I can't decide. They're both way too good. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.